You've established yourself as a dentist, you've built a career on it, you've succeeded. A dentist or a doctor or someone in that sort of line of work.
And I didn't just want to be a dentist. There was more fire in my belly to achieve more than maybe what I should have done if you look at the lineage of friends and the people from my surrounding villages.
Very credible people. They are able to afford the nicer things in life typically, depending on where you work. You must have had a pretty decent lifestyle. When did that stop being enough for you?
Yeah, it's a good question. Doesn't matter who you are here in Dubai, it will eat you up. If you're not focused, if you don't have direction, if you don't protect your time with doing the right things, you will get eaten here.
Do you think lifestyle, inflating your lifestyle, can be a real silent killer of wealth? Most people spend the best part of their formative years specializing in a particular craft or discipline. And quite often, that's enough. But for some, it isn't. Those who strive to have a better lifestyle, a better quality of life for their family, they extend their reach into a secondary or many more streams of income. Today, that's what we're going to explore. Welcome, guys, to another episode of Keep It Locked. I'm sat with a gentleman today who I've met a few times already and found extremely interesting, purely because of the contrast that he has in his life, where he has developed his multi-stream sources of income, and he's succeeding quite well with it. So today I would like to welcome Alexander Scott to the podcast. Welcome to the studio, man.
Thank you very much for having me, buddy.
So thank you for taking out time. I know it's the late evening. You've explained how busy your day was today, so I fully appreciate the time that we're going to spend together today. So just lean in on Alexander Scott a little bit. Just give a brief background on yourself, and then prepare for some questioning.
Yeah, I'm certainly prepared. So, background for me, I am just a normal chap who was born and raised in Essex, so Essex Suffolk border in the UK, just on the outskirts of London. Towie, yeah, exactly. We're from the nicer demarcation of the county of Essex, but yeah, it's got a bad rep.
Lovely.
And yeah, just had a very humble, genuine upbringing from some amazing parents who looked after me, but very, very ordinary. And that's sort of the point I want to get across today, really, mate. I went to a very standard school, but always had a dream of becoming a dentist / surgeon from a very, very young age. And with the humble beginnings, I think there was more fire in my belly to achieve more than maybe what I should have done if you look at the lineage of friends and the people from my surrounding villages. So I basically went through my formative years of learning at the very average, very average school, and succeeded and carried on doing well throughout college. And then I went to university to do my medical training. And then from medical training, I then converted on and did dentistry. So cumulatively, it was like 9 years of university to then become a dentist.
Wow.
So I am now.
Village boy, as they'd call us.
Village boy.
I'm a village boy from the UK as well.
Yeah.
Just not as nice a village as Essex, some would say. So dentistry, that's your first point of work after education.
Yeah.
You've established yourself, as a dentist. You've built a career on it. You've succeeded. Now, for most, a dentist or a doctor or someone in that sort of line of work, they're very credible people. They are able to afford the nicer things in life, typically, depending on where you work.
For sure.
Obviously, further south in the UK, north-south divide.
Yeah.
So you must have had a pretty decent lifestyle. When did that stop being enough for you?
Yeah, it's a good question. And that's often somewhat aligned with the questions that are often asked of me first when someone meets me, because they obviously know what I do now in addition to dentistry. And to be honest with you, Omar, as I said, with my original point, my background, I've always had this fire in my belly to want to do more. And I think I was very grateful. I managed to work at the upper echelons of dentistry in the UK, worked at amazing private practices on Harley Street, some really, really prominent, prestigious practices in Essex too. So what I'm getting at is that I was grateful and I wanted to learn from every single mentor that I could get my hands on for free, I might add. And then realized that a ceiling had sort of been hit. And What I didn't appreciate was that despite doing well, in inverted commas, as a dentist or a doctor or whatever profession it might be, in the UK, you're pigeonholed. And that might be you're an accountant, you're a lawyer, you're a postman, you're a doctor. You are that identity. And I realized pretty quickly in the early years of the career in London is that my identity was around being a dentist. And I didn't just want to be a dentist.
Right.
Which then leads on to why it wasn't enough. And there's other stuff out there.
So it wasn't initially on day one when you've had that epiphany, I guess. It wasn't a strategic one. It was maybe about how that perception was making you feel internally.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think it was internal. I had the external validation. People give dentists and doctors a lot of credibility because you've gone through all of those years of training. But for me, inside, it was an element of me wanting to maybe prove other people wrong, as well as me feeling, actually, Alex, you could do other things. You're not just a dentist.
So what did you land on or experiment with in addition to dentistry? Did you hit the nail on the head straight away, or did you dabble in a few things?
No, actually, strangely, I think I've probably always had like an entrepreneurial mindset, if you will.
Yeah.
Probably hasn't come to fruition as I would have liked for it to have done.
Yeah.
Because I've so concentrated on upskilling and clinical work with dentistry.
Okay.
But yeah, it was the first thing for me, realizing I'm good at talking to people. I could build trust easily, dental and personality wise. I'm a good salesman ethically. So why don't I put all of those together? And I came across a video with this absolute serendipitous moment sitting in bed in London of a real estate agent, now it's coming on to real estate, in Dubai, who was earning X amount of money a month. And I thought, I've got all the foundational things I've just described. Why don't I put that together and give it a pop?
Okay, but did you succeed straight away, obviously? Did you land here and just start selling units or renting them out? How did that journey go?
No, I mean, the journey was an interesting one. I've reached out to a firm who basically had this individual that I watched on YouTube as part of one of their brokers. And they were like, yeah, let's have an interview. Basically mentioned I was a dentist. And they were like, yeah, you've got the job, like immediately. So it was a strange one. I realized pretty early on that the barrier for entry is low. I therefore thought success would be very, very quick and very, very aggressive. And obviously it was a bit of a surprise that it wasn't that way.
How many years were you practicing as a dentist at this stage?
I was practicing for 6 years.
So
in the UK.
let's think of someone who's maybe done it a few more years
Yeah.
than that. You'd probably say that you could argue that they would have specialized a little bit more in that dentistry field.
Yeah.
Do you think that specializing too much in anything today, it's 2026 now, do you think that can actually limit us?
It's a really good question. And in the short answer, yes, I think it can. I think if you narrow down your viewpoint too small, then actually you cut out all of the exterior stuff that could give you pleasure and success monetarily or lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I think over specializing, concentrating on too small a niche too early is not wise.
Were you building real estate as an extension to Alex, or were you actually trying to deprecate some of the dentist identity that was associated with yourself?
Yeah, good point again. I think probably a bit of both. I think it's probably the hybrid of the two of them. One was me wanting to prove that the paradigm of you are X, again, doctor, dentist, lawyer, whatever, a professional, you are that for life.
Because sometimes when you are that professional, some people think, I've made it.
Yeah.
Have they?
I get that. And I think a lot of people would. But that's the ego talking to you, saying, yeah, I'm the Billy Big Cheese, I've done it. But it shouldn't be enough. There's countless options out there.
Is there a difference between high income and real wealth in your view?
Yeah.
Or how would you describe it? I know I'm pumping some like real thought-provoking stuff here.
Yeah.
It's because I'm looking for the answers, my friend.
Yeah.
I guess you can help me learn. Yeah, that's why we're sat here, man. We just want to try and get some value out from this. Like high income and wealth, two different things.
Totally. And I would probably define and differentiate the two as high income is objective around a metric. subjective to a degree, but
Mm.
it involves a numerical aspect, whereas your alternative is purely subjective and it's unemotional. So wealth does not necessarily mean money. And that is the thing, actually. So I'm not the richest dentist in the UK or the UAE by far, 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 far from it. But am I internally one of the wealthiest dentists or people that I know from my friend group and the people that I know? Probably yes.
From your village, yeah, of course.
Yeah. And even away from me. So I would probably define wealth as, the happiness and fulfillment from the collection of values and job aspects that one can undertake. And does that mean that I get it just from dentistry, real estate, my friends, my family? It's a collaboration of all of them. That's why I'm wealthy.
Wealth is relative.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so let's get back to the income side of things then.
Yeah.
Not just you, not just me, quite a lot of people, in order to even be in this region, to be in Dubai, I used to be able to do it off one core income stream. That was about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So everyone, I'm just gonna blanket.
Right.
Yeah, just gonna blanket it on everyone, is chasing some form of multi-stream income today.
These days, yeah.
You're actually doing it.
Yeah.
Forget me, because I admire the way that you're doing it.
Yeah.
So let's strip away from all the noise.
Yeah.
You're doing it dentist/real estate.
Yeah.
What do people get completely wrong about developing multiple incomes in terms of the balance that you need to have between all the streams? Have you seen some pitfalls yourself that you obviously got stung by early on? Have you seen it in your circle?
Yeah.
Yeah, what advice would you give to someone who was maybe Alex? How long have you been here now?
2.5 years.
Okay, and you started this multi-stream journey 2.5 years ago?
Pretty much from the inception. Yeah, pretty
So-
much. Not to say that the income came in immediately with real estate, but yeah, absolutely started.
So what do people, or what did you get completely wrong maybe in the beginning?
From the real estate aspect, I assumed because I was educated, good at sales, good at building those relationships, it would just come in droves. But what you learn pretty quickly is it doesn't matter who you are here in Dubai, it will eat you up. If you're not focused, if you don't have direction, if you don't protect your time with doing the right things, you will get eaten here.
So you've been here 2.5 years. Compared to when you landed here and now, how many more Alexes have you seen in the region?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, not dentistry and real estate.
No. But on the real estate market here is advertised every little flick that you do through your social feed.
Yeah.
And who can you trust with such a luxury
It's a problem.
investment?
Yeah, it's a big problem.
You operate in two different spaces. I can see the synergy between your clientele. People are paying for high-end smiles
Yeah,
or luxury accommodation
yeah.
with the best views, the best climate, arguably the best region
Yeah.
in the world. Has it taught you anything about how wealthy people actually think?
Yeah, I think it has. It's a good point again. I think that depending on the space you're in, and I would say that I'm in the luxury segment, that's property and dental medical with our practices. And I think that the way they operate is very cliche. You'll hear it across lots of inspirational podcasts and YouTube videos, but time is everything. Everything. And if you have the sort of strategic way of having them feel that you appreciate their time and you value that, they will stick with you long term. And I've learned that pretty quickly with both fields here because I'm dealing with really, really high-end, wealthy people. And if you keep things efficient, but building the value within that short period of time, it goes a very long way, rather than just drabbing on and just talking absolute rubbish. Whereas they could easily go to another agent who's probably a bit more bullish, maybe not as educated or skilled as you, but they get the job done faster. They'll go with them.
So what do you think that you did that most other people wouldn't do off the bat?
I think that I position myself with this very unique situation that I'm in with the dental, medical and real estate. And with that, I think inherently there's trust built already. So you have the trust. It's an element of trust. It's a pillar of trust that you work with. Then you get the opportunity to get in the circles with these people. And then I learned very quickly on, back to our point, I was very cautious of not wasting their time. And it's gone a long way. I've got, lots of clients who trust me and now want to spend time with me.
Yeah, that's amazing, man, and congratulations on it. So multiple income streams, it's not just a case of you start firing them up and then they start they don't just start returning on your investment. You've got to really put some time into it and sacrifice more time elsewhere.
Yeah.
So for some, I can see multiple income streams making them richer, of course, after a lot of hard work and effort. But for others, do you ever see it just distracts them, so they end up actually diluting each of their streams?
Yeah.
How do you manage to not do that? Obviously, can I just ask, is it just the two streams? Have you dabbled in a third or a fourth, or?
I haven't.
So it's fair to say that you're still trying to maintain focus and not overstretch yourself.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I, as everyone else, has probably had all these other ideas in mind. You see all these get rich schemes on Instagram and YouTube, right? And it's very easy to lull you into think, I could do that. I could be a trader. I could do a bit of trading on the side. I could do drop shipping, all of that jazz. For me, it's so classic, right? And
I got offered to do it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing?
I think it is still a
Bloody
thing. I
hell.
don't know how successful it is, but
Unbelievable.
from what I understand, people have made quite a bit of money out of it.
Okay.
I just think with me, which might be different from other people, I had to align it around a profession. And that's why the two have synergy.
Yeah.
Because they both have professional aspects to them.
Like I said, they've got the same demographic of clientele, depending on if you're doing as a dentist / surgeon, cosmetic.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing a lot here, mate.
Yeah.
Okay. So high end.
Yeah.
Dentist or real estate. In your opinion, do they buy outcomes or do they buy confidence?
Good point.
Someone wants to just plaster a brand new smile and just purchase it from Dr. Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what the weird thing about dentistry here, for anyone who might even be interested in dentistry, which they might not be, but everyone needs it, so it is applicable to everyone.
Yeah.
The market here in Dubai is very, very interesting. And you have the upper echelons of dentistry and medicine, and then you have the very, very low end.
What does that mean?
Meaning, on price, you have individuals who will charge what some might see as very, very high prices, but you would get the deliverables with it generally. Or you have, on the other end of the spectrum, very, very low prices. Again, this is all subjective and relative to individuals' income, but I would say on an objective scale, very expensive, very cheap. And it's the individuals in the middle who get squeezed, who really, really struggle to make it here. So getting the patient footfall within that sort of middle sector is very difficult. So you said, what is it? It's on outcome or
confidence.
Confidence, yeah. So it's interesting because if you have the individuals who are in the middle bracket, you would assume that, okay, it's a little bit cheaper, it's a bit more affordable for me as a client, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have the outcome, because the outcome will undoubtedly be tarnished. You won't get that good a result. Whereas if you go for someone who's selling very, very expensive dentistry and medicine, you would assume that the confidence should be there, and therefore invariably you will have a good outcome. That's how we're positioned. But you still need to do your vetting. But there's a big issue in the market.
It's crazy.
Huge issue.
I've seen the prices.
Yeah, it's nuts. And I get it, right? There are dentists here who will charge like 450, 500 dirhams a veneer, right? My lab fee is going to be 350 a veneer. So I need to pay a lab to create the work. I don't understand how they make the margins, but it's a volume game. And I know tons, especially real estate agents, notably, who will go to these cheaper end dentists to get their work done because the price is low, but it doesn't mean that the outcome will be high.
Right.
Very, very interesting one.
Is fixing your teeth or your smile and purchasing a luxury property.
Yeah.
Okay, let's actually just compare apples to apples. Is going to one of the higher end clinics and purchasing a luxury property. Do you think psychologically that's, from the customer's perspective, is it all rooted in the same kind of emotional decision?
Probably is, yeah. I think if you break down the psychology behind that individual, if you have bright lights, tall ceilings, swanky gear, and all of the bells and whistles, one would assume that they know what they're doing. Doesn't necessarily mean that they do, and that's why vetting is absolutely imperative. But yeah, I think as a client, as a patient, you go to a clinic like that, you expect a good service. I'll pay more because it's got all the things we just described. And the same with a real estate agent. The real estate agent drives up in a Ferrari or a Lambo,
Yeah.
and they take to a Palm Villa, which is 150 million. You'd probably assume the guy knows what he's doing, but he might not do. That's the thing.
So on the dentistry side, do you think, especially in Dubai, where, you know, there's a lot of cosmetic clinics, there's districts which are just full of them in abundance.
Yeah.
So here, do you think now people are willing to invest in that type of procedure for health, or what's the ratio of it being for health or status?
Dubai is different, to be frank. I mean, I was great.
Harley Street?
Harley Street, yeah, that's sort of it. So I was privileged to be able to work there, and it's a big status, I suppose, if you will. But again, very, very important point, does not mean that the quality is superior. Because I know a lot of cowboys and shoddy dentistry and medicine that is carried out on that road. But again, Dubai is that on steroids, I would say.
What does Dubai allow you to do that the UK didn't? Do you think that this city, this region, has rewarded you for your real skill or the boldness in your move?
I'd say I wouldn't look at the initial returns monetarily. So my points to dentists and doctors back home, and I get, honestly, mate, I get hundreds of messages.
Yo, Alex, how do we do this?
Yeah. It's classic. I've
So I
seen
know.
Yeah. All the Essex boys are flinging in the DMs.
Yeah. And not spoken to you in like 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've seen a couple of pictures of me at a beach club. I'm like, I want that life. Yeah. So it's classic. And I think they just all assume that they're going to come here and be a Dr. Apple or a Dr. Duval. They're probably the two most eminent dentists here,
Okay.
marketing-wise and price-wise.
Okay.
And it does not happen. So I think what Dubai affords you, if you to make the move, the boldness, is it gives you the opportunity and the platform to treat and meet these individuals, these patients, clients as well, however you want to look at it, where you just could not touch them in London.
What's your conversion rate on patient to client?
As in who's become a real estate client? I'd say in the last 6 months, high, to be frank. I wouldn't be able to give a percentage, but
No, but you've noticed that as a pattern, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's also probably come around from me displaying who I am and what I do.
With your social media and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah?
social media, there's an element of that, which I probably need to do more on it. To
We
be
all
frank.
do, man.
We all do. It's everyone's New Year's resolution, isn't it? From the beginning of Jan. But I think, as cliche again as it is, mate, I think it's the trust basis. They're in my clinic, they're in my chair. This place is very expensive. We've invested a lot of money into it, high end. That psychology is coming into play. Okay, this dentist is Harley Street trained. He's in this clinic. He knows what he's doing.
You've delivered the goods.
Yeah, exactly. Before or after, to be frank. But yeah, if the goods have been delivered, if you will. Okay, this guy really knows what he's doing. He's good at what he does. He can't be a scammer who's doing real estate, right? Like a lot of the guys and girls are here. And even if you're not a scammer, you know what you're talking about. You can come across with a lot more va-va-vu than maybe someone else would.
Scammers move quick, right?
Yeah.
Anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And as lucrative as the region is, the more scamming you attract.
No doubt.
Like I said, I've been in the region since 2018.
Yeah.
The amount of cold calls I'm getting or messages I'm getting in comparison to what was there back then, phenomenally higher.
That's a problem.
I can't even recall pre-COVID up until COVID. I don't even think I received a single scam call. In the last 2 years, the amount of numbers that I'm having to screen and block is, I've noticed it, and I've not. What I'm trying to say is that I've not even really been here that long.
Yeah.
So you're an expert, if you allow me to. Who wouldn't allow me to label someone an expert? Yeah, well, no, because I commend you, man. So you're an expert. Do you think Dubai's full of people like yourselves with expertise, or do the people who just end up moving faster than everyone else end up catching a lucky break?
Yeah. Good
I've seen
point.
it so much with DJing. I've seen it so much with people just blowing up as influencers,
Yeah.
timing,
Yeah.
moving quick.
Moving quick. Yeah. Yeah. I think there's a lot to be said for people who get it done quickly. If you are assertive and you see an opportunity and you pounce on it, you're probably going to do well here.
I'm talking real estate specifically.
Yeah. Any field, but yeah, real estate. I would say if you come here, and I've seen loads of them, there's normally an avatar attached to it. English, big turkey teeth that I wouldn't have done myself, obviously. Covered in tats, the old fake Rolly. Like it's the type. There's an avatar attached to it, and it's fine. But those guys generally work like dogs, and you come here, and the assumption might be that that individual probably wouldn't have done very well back home, but they come here and they've got the grit, they've got the determination. And if you have those fundamentals and you batter the phone and you make those cold calls that are annoying for all of us, you are probably going to land on a very, very lucky break. And that client can change your life.
Yeah, because all these, early 20-year-olds
Yeah.
being sold a dream,
Yeah.
coming across the pond.
Yeah.
Some of them get that lucky break. Some of them tuck their tail between the legs and go back home within the first 6 months.
Correct, mate. Yeah. It's
You must see that a lot.
loads of it. Yeah. Between the firms I've worked at and word of mouth, yeah, you see it a lot. It's very common here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can either be a real success story or a sheer drop failure.
And let's be honest, right? We're not operating, none of us are operating in normal conditions at the moment.
No.
So what's the regional situation specifically done for, I guess, both of your professions? But
Yeah.
I'm more interested in surely the real estate market.
Yeah.
Dubai's taken a battering, right?
Yeah, indeed. I mean, that's sort of the talk of the town at the moment because real estate is so omnipresent here. It's all over the place. Wherever you look, there's skyscrapers and construction. So I think what has happened is there has objectively been a slowing, and there will continue to be a slowing because there's going to be, somewhat skepticism across the world with individuals wanting to invest here. And I get it. Doesn't mean that the fundamentals here in Dubai and the UAE are not still there, because they are, and they will remain, and they'll continue on a massive trajectory like we've seen for the last 6 years minimum. But I think in the short term, we are going to continue seeing this issue because these individuals aren't going to want to park the money in a region which is volatile and there's conflicts, across a drop of water.
So do you foresee the market dipping temporarily and then Dubai always prevails?
Yeah.
It's always shown that time and time again.
Yeah.
So I've got no doubt that it's going to restabilize itself.
Sure.
But do you see it being a problem for you in 2026? Probably makes you lucky that you've got a secondary stream. Your primary stream is obviously the fallback.
Yeah. Agreed. And, I'm grateful to be in that position for sure, to have both.
Yeah.
Dentistry, medicine, we're lucky. It's very much recession proof. It's war proof. People always need to enhance their health, stay healthy. So that component I'm not concerned about at all.
Mm-hmm.
The only caveat to that, interestingly, with Dubai as a micro market, is that a lot of the medical procedures and dental procedures that are carried out here are tourism related. So individuals will fly from wherever in the globe to come here to get their work done. And medical tourism is a very big thing. Everyone's heard of turkey teeth. They've capitalized on that, and they've got huge businesses which rely on that. So that tiny caveat might affect some clinics here. We have some of it, but not a lot of it. But on the real estate side of things, I think it will be a temporary, not pause, but reduction. You've also got to remember that a lot of the individuals here in Dubai and the UAE, certainly the people that I'm dealing with, don't really have liquidity issues. They're super, super wealthy. They don't just own one asset. They've got houses across the UAE, across the globe. And therefore, those individuals will be fine. And if they hold, knowing that all of the fundamental metrics are in place as they have been for the last, as I said, 6 years and more, we will go back to a stage where we might have the same prices that we're at just before the conflict, or even more.
When things are unstable, it could have either invoked fear, like, oh my God, not going to invest in that place yet.
Yeah.
What the hell's happening there?
Yeah.
Or it could have done the complete opposite and put a sense of urgency in,
Yeah.
capitalize on it. Prices are going to go down.
True.
Let me just wait until I pull the trigger.
Yeah. 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 There's that element for sure.
Are you seeing a mix of both, or are you seeing more of one than the other?
It probably is a mix of both. I think individuals who have been here for maybe a year, they've been renting and now they're ready to buy. And now with this conflict having caught up with us here in the UAE, they still want to buy. They don't want to move back, right, to wherever they live.
Yeah.
And I think with that, you're still going to get the end users buying family houses. It's the investors, two different, totally separate classes of buyers, the investor and the end user.
Yeah.
The investors will be more savvy, and they'll either wait for the deliverable of an amazing deal, which will be, off plan OP or minus the original price, or something that's been secondary built, so a villa or a townhouse, but they want to see that the price is reduced enormously, from the market. And if that happens, an investor will buy it, but the end user will still stay strong and want to buy because they need a home.
Yeah, yeah.
So
there's loads of people who've moved here.
Yeah.
Not just from the UK.
All over.
And they're still coming now. Let's not shy away from the fact some people have just, for whatever reason, left. Whether it's just because they couldn't afford it or their jobs were impacted or whatever.
Yeah.
That could have happened independent of the regional conflict.
Correct.
Loads of people have flocked to Dubai in the last few years.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing more and more. Every Facebook group I'm on is, I'm thinking of moving to Dubai. Not got a job yet, but I'm thinking of coming there for a bit and hoping to land one.
Yeah.
That's probably the worst tactic to it.
Definitely the worst tactic.
So, do people come here because they believe in it as a dream? Or is it just that they really, really have had enough and don't trust where they're coming from?
Again, mate, very good question. And
I want to know if that applied to you.
Yeah. I'll be frank. Dubai, I knew very, very little about it. I traveled here with my partner on holiday, and that was the first experience I had. And it was just a very brief holiday. I was blown away by, the hospitality and all of the jazz that we speak about here, because you get treated like royalty. And it was amazing, incredible holiday. Could I have seen myself living here long term? Probably not. It's a long way from home.
Right, yeah.
I had an amazing job in London, earning lots of money. I thought, well, I don't need to. It didn't really appeal to me. And for whatever reason, had this epiphany, saw this chap on YouTube, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to give real estate a good whack.
Yeah, I resonate with it as well, man.
Yeah.
There was something I was going to say, but I just think that you just summed it up quite well. So, yeah, just on that point then, independent of what's happening now.
Yeah.
If this was being recorded and we were having this chat 2 months ago, I'd ask the same thing because I'd feel the same way.
Yeah.
Everything's more expensive now. Anywhere. Expectations are higher.
Yeah.
They want more for less money.
Yeah, for sure.
Whether you're a dentist, people want to feel like they're getting an amazing deal on a villa.
Yeah.
They want more bang for their buck.
Too right.
Dubai has got a good habit of amplifying both of those dimensions. So the costs being higher and the expectations being higher and them delivering on it. It always amazes us with something new. But from what you're seeing daily, are people who are coming here, they're earning more than they used to, or are they just really stretching harder to keep up with the quality of life?
To be honest, I don't really know about the earnings that they're under, but my presumption and my understanding from the people I've spoken to who are here generally take a bit of a hit financially initially to come here, with the prospect of earning significantly more long term.
So initially,
yeah,
and I feel the same way, I'm glad you said it.
It's common.
They're upgrading their lives.
That's exactly it, man.
By upgrading their expenses.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a sensible formula.
It doesn't.
Because from the outside, when you're watching these guys, like those geezers or whoever was watching you at your beach club party, it looks like you're winning, but you might actually be under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And I get it all the time. Like, one of my childhood school friends, just last week, funny enough, I'll give you a real example. They just messaged me, just tongue in cheek, saying, "Oh, it's really good to see that you've made it."
Yeah, right. Okay.
Just one of the lads from our village up in Yorkshire.
Yeah.
And now you're you're in the big cities, London and
Living the
Dubai.
dream in Dubai.
I'm like, I had to go do some prayers quickly. God, please take the evil eye away from me. No, but this guy's one of my best and closest friends, and I thanked him.
Yeah.
But then I'm just thinking, like, how the hell has he managed to decipher that that's the conclusion and that's where I am? Because that's not how I feel every time I'm going home.
Exactly.
I'm feeling like exhausted. Where have the hours gone in the day? I've got so much more work to do to make ends meet.
Correct.
Because the Dubai dream is very easily sold on social media.
Yeah, of course.
AI is making it even easier to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the real estate agents that are coming here, I'm thinking they should have been in an apprenticeship in college or something, master some craft. You're not ready to sell real estate in the heart of the world.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
So, yeah, I don't know. Did you think that your clients buy genuinely based on affordability or the identity that it will give them?
I think it really depends on who you're speaking to, who you're dealing with. And again, the clients that I generally surround myself with, they don't need to worry about affordability. Affordability is something that they wouldn't question. They don't have to suffer from the issues of, am I going to be over leveraged with mortgage repayments, right? Because they're so liquid wealthy that they can just keep buying and buying and buying, and it wouldn't really dent them.
That's specifically the type of high-end clients that you're dealing with, which I guess, respectfully, you're probably lucky in comparison to some other agents because they don't have the access.
No. But that's a really interesting point, mate, access. I was speaking about it only the other day.
Yeah.
And I was reflecting. I went for dinner with maybe the third most notable Emirati family member here in Dubai. And I reflected the day after, and I was just like, it's very surreal to be able to be put in a room with this chap.
To break bread with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a meal. I sit in his Rolls Royce. It's like, it's ludicrous to think that just some guy from an Essex village who's pulled a couple of teeth can be in those rooms. So I probably do see myself as lucky and fortunate. But as the old adage is, you in order to be lucky, you've got to make your own luck. And I think even these agents who might not think they could get themselves into those rooms with these individuals, these eminent individuals, you can find some commonality. How can you help them? Can you add value to their life? If you can, and you're trustworthy and ethical and you come across well and personable, you can build a relationship. And lots can do it here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's easier to do it here than what I would imagine anywhere else on the globe.
Yeah. I can get that. But I always keep thinking about the 21-year-old or 22-year-old kid who's just decided that they're going to up and leave the UK or their home. I'm going to go and become a real estate agent. It's kind of like, do you think inflating your lifestyle can be a real silent killer of wealth? Like whatever little or large I had before, because I've just been roped in and enticed by this possibility of inflating my lifestyle.
For sure.
I can just destroy whatever good I had built prior to that.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen.
Yeah, it's common. Really, really common. I think the allure of Dubai sucks you in. You could be 21, you could be 51, but keeping up with the Joneses here in Dubai is impossible.
You can be 21 or 51, so why would mature, smart people still fall for it? That's absurd.
It is absurd. I just think we're all probably predisposed to want to keep up with the Joneses and want to level our life up, but you should never over leverage it. And I've been there, man. I've spent tons and tons of money on stupid things that I shouldn't have done since being here. Beach clubs every weekend and, parties and all that sort of jazz, which doesn't
That's
mean
normal.
it's normal, but
you've not gone and bought a Ferrari for jokes, have you?
No, but but I think if you're 21 years old and you've got, I don't know, £20,000 saved, £10,000 saved, and you come in here to want to be a real estate agent,
you might just go and risk it and put a deposit on one.
Yeah, but it's not worthwhile. You need to just hamper down and just batter the fundamentals of whatever job you're doing, see the monetary rewards, and then do whatever you want to do and spunk your money.
Okay, let's stay on the Dubai market and I guess your superpowers for a second.
Yeah.
So look, whether you're talking from here or from the UK or from anywhere else across the globe, it's fair to say that most people will have an opinion today on the Dubai real estate market, but you are in the trenches, you're inside making those deals. So if you strip it back, We've spoken about what's actually happening right now, given the regional conflict. So I've taken from you that the market is still strong. It's just riding the momentum of the wave.
Yeah, but it will drop, and it has dropped.
So if your money was going into it today,
Yeah,
how would you play it?
if I was invest my money into it, I would probably be on the same path as these investors I mentioned. And if you see a genuine deal in the market,
Pull the trigger.
yeah, because it won't be there for long.
How do you spot a genuine deal in this market?
You need to have an educated broker who knows the fundamentals of that deal, and they can strategize that deal, not just post loads of crap on social media and say, yeah, I've got a deal which is distressed, because distress is variable and it's subjective.
What is a distressed deal?
The actual definition, I'm not 100% sure.
No, just your understanding. Like, we don't need, there is no definition officially. Everyone's got their own.
Yeah.
But for the most part, when someone's coming and saying, I've got this distressed deal, what kind of warning signs should we look out for?
So I would want to know if it was off plan, for example. I'd want to know what the original price was, what the price was that the developer sold to the client, because only then can use that as a benchmark to look at the new given price and to see if that's distressed, if that's a deal.
Are there any public, because I know like when we're renting, we can use the RERA rental index.
Yeah.
Is all of that information, or is any of it publicly available?
Not publicly available. So you have different platforms that agents and agencies.
A registered RERA agent.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, have got access to. So we could find out the transactions, every transaction. In Dubai, there's not normally that many because it's a new market. You can find out every transaction for that specific unit. So you will know what it was bought for, what it was resold for, and throughout that journey. So if someone presented me with a distressed deal, I'd sure as hell want to know what the price was of that product that was sold at its inception, at the original price. And then only upon that can you decipher whether it's a good deal. And it might be a distressed deal, right? It might be 15, 20, 25% below. But if it's in a crappy building next to construction, miles away from the center of Dubai, where you're probably not going to be able to recruit tenants, or you're probably not going to get a huge amount of capital growth, it's not a good deal. You shouldn't push it to a client.
Why would a property become a distressed deal in the first place?
The individual, the seller, the owner has run out of funds to continue the payment of the payment plan. That's quite classic. Or with global tensions as there are at the moment, for whatever reason, they've taken a pay cut or they've had to relocate and they need liquidity. So what they do is they just cut their losses and say, well, let's just sell it for X price. I'll take what I can from it and move on.
Are we likely to see more of them pop up this year?
100%, man. Yeah.
You're going to keep me in the loop? Yeah?
100%.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. You're one of many.
Nice. So you spoke briefly about the difference in, I guess, mindset for an investor versus someone who's just looking to buy as an end user, you called them, right?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you who's winning, but I think there's an opportunity for both to win in this
There is.
climate.
There is. I think you've just got to understand that the trajectory from COVID 2020 till 2026 has been so astronomically high that a regular individual, if you will, would have bought a house in 2020, 2021 for what would be deemed a moderate price or cheap price now. They've held it because they've lived there as a family for 4, 5, 6 years. Now they're sitting on so much equity that they will be a multi-millionaire. And they started off from a very normal, average working class family. So those individuals who wouldn't want to sell at the peak of the market, but are now seeing a drop, I would highly, highly, highly suggest to them to consider selling, because although they're thinking, well, I couldn't have got the highest price, you've still got to think, how much are you in at 2020 compared to where are you now with a little drop? You're still probably 80, 90% up from your initial investment.
Hurts me a lot. Maybe I should have done it back then.
There's always a way. If there's adversity in the world, you need to buy. Yeah.
Most people can't actually hold for that long.
No, but if it's your family home, you can.
Of course.
Right? So you've got that element, but also if you're a wealthy investor and you've got a diversified portfolio, then a lot of those guys would have held for some time. Yeah.
Another thing with this regional situation,
Yeah.
whenever you get into this type of instability, you see just money. Forget asset. You see money moving.
Yeah.
Do you feel that there's much money coming in, entering right now?
I think there still is. I mean, you've got huge American firms that were announced. I think BlackRock have got the headquarters coming to the UAE, which is an enormous name. JP Morgan are here. And with those enormous institutions, you were going to have a flood of money coming in. I saw only yesterday a UAE-backed firm, I think in Abu Dhabi, had just acquired the luxury hospitality sector businesses in London. Annabelle's was purchased, the IB was purchased for like over $1 billion. So you've not only got UAE money going into other markets to reap the rewards, but you've got external companies from different countries coming in and investing here. So I think it will always benefit.
Do you think that uncertainty creates better investors or more reactive ones that just jumped on the opportunity?
Probably a bit of both, to be honest. I think it depends on how long you've been here in the market. If you've been here a long time, you know when to time it generally. And you'll have other reactive ones who have had some very average agent push a deal to them. They assume it's a good deal and they buy, but it might not be the right buy.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. You made me think.
Yeah.
Especially from the COVID era.
Yeah. It's sod's law, man. Like, we can't always win. And I think, had I understood the market back then, I mean, myself, my family, probably, we would have bought. So it would have made sense, but I wasn't educated and now I am.
Now I am as well. Thank you for that.
It's a pleasure.
So, okay, quick context switch. Dentistry.
Mm.
Not context switch. We're just going to focus on it. Obviously, with your tools and all the gadgets and all the procedures, it's fair to say that you are a man of precision.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Okay. Real estate at a high level also requires some finesse and precision. So different industries, but similar pressures. For you, is that where your transferable skills were moved between both worlds?
Yeah, I'd say there's an element of that. So, for example, if I was to go on a viewing or if I was to go on a client meeting, I would never just turn up with myself. So what I do, which is similar in a way to dentistry, is that if I was to go into a complex procedure, I'd have a plan. I would run through the plan in my head, obviously prior, but then everything's written out or everything's sort of presented. The same with a meeting. If I go to an investor and I say, yeah, it'd be great to buy this product in Abu Dhabi, but without any evidence or any spreadsheets, you look like a moron.
Attention to detail.
Yeah,
what you've got.
I think it's massive. I think that can really differentiate you in this market.
Do you think it's underrated?
Yeah,
a lot.
And I think it's underutilized.
Yeah, it's same thing.
Yeah.
Underrated, therefore underutilized.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I think.
And I don't think it's just real estate.
No, I think it's so simple. If you try to assess how you could add value to that individual more than anyone else, it will go such a long way. And I've had it multiple times where I've met an investor, I've produced the sort of spreadsheet that I've created, and it hasn't been very well received, or it's just they've skimmed past it, and that's fine. That's probably the way that they learn and the way that they operate. But generally, if you show someone that you've gone above and beyond, compared to another agent who will just turn up on a viewing and just be like, yeah, here's a bathroom. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't think you can compare, personally.
So look, man, just to try and round everything up, you're doing it. I commend you for it. It's admirable. There's probably other people watching this who would also say that they would like to be sat on your side of the table.
Yeah.
Do you think your multiple income streams sustainable long term for you, or would you consider? Are you riding the wave on the momentum of one, and you're going to see how it goes? Are you going to fall back and then just consolidate it all, or are you going to just continue to expand stream after stream?
So I'm very disciplined with it, and with the business, the medical dental business, I have structured time in which I will see patients, and that's protected. That's sort of very, very strict on what I do with that.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it allows me to spend more time with real estate if that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I think when you start mixing different income revenues, different skill sets too much, it becomes too murky,
diluted.
Yeah, and then your focus becomes dissipated. So my point to anyone else who might be interested in coming and trying to do various things, strategically plan your time.
That was my next question.
Yeah, well, there we go.
Thank you, man. So
Telepathic.
the advice is what. So if someone wanted to do this in the next 12 months and they said, I think I can really expand my horizons, jump into a secondary or even a third or fourth income stream.
Yeah,
You're saying have a strategy and a roadmap behind it.
definitely. Yeah, because you might become overwhelmed with one of them, and then that will take your focus away from the other. So I think if whatever you might be into trading, you might be into, drop shipping, as we said, real estate, whatever. You might be a fitness coach. There's loads of them here. So that's fine. Just be disciplined with your time. It depends on what you want to do.
Specifically with people who want to come and jump into this region,
Yeah.
what would you say to people who just have an affinity towards the image that's associated with, oh, I'm from Dubai or moving to Dubai?
Cut that crap out your head. Because I know there's dentists back in the UK who come here from London to work as a dentist for a week or a few days, and it's all marketing positioning. I'm a Dubai dentist, I'm a London dentist. It sounds cool. There's a lot of like austere attached to it. Doesn't necessarily mean that is the right thing to do. So I would eliminate all of that shit from your head and just focus on doing the fundamentals really, really well.
Yeah. And what about these guys who are just sort of promoting, oh, do you want financial freedom? This,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Do people want it, or do they just want to appear that they've got it?
It's probably a bit of both. I'm sure the individuals who position themselves on all these adverts on Instagram probably have done well themselves. But it absolutely doesn't guarantee that you can do it.
How much of it's real though? Because like you see it and you just don't understand like how someone can be financially free if they're constantly upping their game, upping their quality of life. There's got to be a catch to it.
Depending on how much they earn, I suppose.
Can you tell when someone's genuinely wealthy or just positioned themselves well?
I think in Dubai it's obscured my assessments.
That's what I'm asking. Like I can't tell anymore.
It's very, very difficult here. I think everyone tries to present themselves as being wealthier than what they are, which
clearly
is wrong. Yeah. Hence the really,
mate, I just came from the gym, man.
Yeah. You're looking pumped.
No, thank you, man. I just did it for you.
Yeah.
For this podcast with the camera. But yeah, so I've got so much more in my mind, and I'm trying to channel it. If you strip everything away, from Alex, and we said that there's no clinics, there's no listings on Bayou or Dubizzle. Is that where you list? Yeah.
No, well, Bayou and property finder. Yeah.
No network, no Dubai, just you back in that village in Essex again.
Yeah.
What would you focus on now to rebuild some real income that's sustainable and long term?
What would I have done? I would have invested from a very young age, something I didn't know much about.
In property?
Property, I have the education from my family who've been involved in property.
What would you invest in is what I'm trying to say.
What I would do is I would just start off with, say, back in the UK, an ISA. And I would do that from a very young age. I would just understand how money works, how you can see the returns, and understanding why you should invest from a young age through the power of compounding. Did not know any of that growing up. Like I said, very humble beginning. And I had to educate myself in my 20s to know what investing was from like a stocks and shares, ISA point of view, and commodities. So I would do that 100%. I would do that. It builds independence, discipline, and you'll see your money grow and shrink.
I saw a post on exactly this topic the other day. I think, I don't know if it's because an accountant was unfortunately slating someone on a Facebook group, but he gave an example of someone who was there, complaining about not having any savings. And he was on around, I think about 8K or something a month. But he was paying about £850 a month on a Range Rover, all the mortgage and all of that stuff. And then he had purchased some family holidays on a credit card. And the accountant was just saying, yeah, but he keeps complaining that he doesn't want to put 200 quid a month into an ISA for compounded wealth.
Mental.
He said it was just beyond him. It was over his head.
Mental.
It rung home for me, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's critical, and naturally, no one ever teaches you this at school, so you have to rely on your parents. And if
The
your
only time
parents,
yeah, it's only when our financial advisor
yeah,
used to come round to the house back in the day I'd ever
yeah,
heard the word ISA.
no, exactly, and people wouldn't know that.
I don't even think it's taught today,
No,
unless you're going to do economics
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
something in uni.
Yeah, but even that, mate, I know many, many, many of my friends who studied economics at university, and they don't invest now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to just teach yourself. No one is coming to save you. You got to figure it out yourself. But investing is crucial. Yeah, learn from a young age.
Very, very enlightening, man.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, man. No, thank you.
Pleasure.
Okay, so what we do in Keep It Locked, and I'd love to have you again because I think there's
Thanks,
so
man.
much more. I tried not to vomit a lot out because I think there's so much more. I mean, I prepped as usual, but I didn't want to just dilute the conversation.
Yeah.
So look, we always do something on Keep It Locked called the Locked segment.
Okay.
I'm hoping you would honor it. One person, I want to offer them, so check it out. I want to offer them the Alexander Scott Dubai upgrade audit.
Okay.
We'll brand it as something.
Let's do that.
So either a consultation for a new smile.
Yeah.
Don't go to Turkey. Come
Yeah.
to Dubai, Habibi.
Do
Habibi,
not
come
go
to
to
Dubai.
Turkey.
Or property positioning advice, or just some general guidance on personal brand and direction.
Yeah.
And what we want to just ask them is to let us know what your ambitions would be for your secondary income in Dubai and why. And we'll pick one of the best ideas or the best comments on the YouTube video. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share at the same time. And we'll pick one of you to book yourself in for a 30 to 60-minute Zoom call consultation, or even face-to-face if you're visiting or in the region already, on one of those dimensional bullet points, whether it's real estate, dentistry, or just overall brand perception and positioning. So, Alex, thank you for joining Keep It Locked. I think you
Pleasure.
may have seen that the TV told us off. It said
There
we've got 5 minutes left to get out of the
Yeah,
studio.
the
So
time
thank you so much. I
Pleasure,
think
mate.
learning from you about real estate, hoping that obviously the market picks up again in the region.
It will.
And again, kudos to you for not evacuating and fleeing,
No.
because this is a place we call home,
Absolutely.
and you don't leave your home.
You don't need you.
I know you were traveling.
Yeah. I
to
went
enjoy-
skiing.
You went skiing. You did a little bit more than skiing
Yeah,
from
yeah,
the
yeah.
for the evening.
But
The
it was
parties
just
looked
good band.
immense, man. But then you came back as soon as you could.
Yeah.
So I commend you for that, and I wish you all the best. And if I obviously need to get any cosmetic work done on the teeth, you'll
Always
get a
there
phone
for me.
call from me. And likewise, we'll share your details. So Alex's socials, they will be, like all our guests, in the description of our YouTube videos, and we'll be looking to support and collaborate with him on his Instagram and TikTok. So please do make sure you follow, you keep in touch with his account and what he is doing and how he's navigating through his multi-income streams. And of course, the real estate market, man. I'm just hoping to see that.
Yeah. We'll get there. I mean, I'm working on some really, really big clients at the moment. And like I said, the deals, if presented well and make sense, you should pull the trigger. It's a good place to be.
Well, keep me in the loop on when pulling the trigger is a viable option, and
Certainly
hopefully we could do something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, right.
All right, brother. Thank you for joining Keep It Logged.
Thanks, man.
And guys, we will see you on the next one. For this episode, it is over and out. Thank you.
Thanks.